Okay, this is the acclaimed 1755, aka Torpedo, the '1 Foundation Pigeon here currently at Sierra Ranch for Steve. This is 2017 Sierra Ranch 1755. Again, he is the current #1 Foundation breeder for the last 4 or 5 years or so. As a young bird, he was first place club, 10th combine at Elko, which is 311 miles. Other than that, didn't have much of a notable record, but Steve must have known something because he stalked him, and that was obviously a very wise decision. You can see the character is just top notch on this pigeon. But as a one-loft breeder, just phenomenal one-loft breeder, one of the best one-loft breeding cocks for sure in America. Off the top of my head, he's bred 7 times first place or equal first in 300+ mile races in one-loft races. One of the sons, maybe it was a daughter, 2023 won first place at 350 miles in the California Classic San Diego for Steve and Dwayne Gregg as a team. 2 different sons have been second overall ace pigeons in one-loft races, one in Plymouth Peak, one in Gold Country Challenge. Both those pigeons were equal first on the final races, respectively. Another son was, I think, equal first in 5 of the 6 Plymouth Peak races in 2022, including equal first on the 300 and the 350-mile final. That bird didn't do good in average speed just because it was 2 hours late on the first race, but the last 5 races in a row, it was first drop in all of them. And then several additional equal first as well. Another son was, I think, 10th or 11th in the California Classic final. One of the inbred grandchildren, 2023, was second overall ace pigeon of the Blue Bucket and equal first in 5 of the 6 races. And that's just scratching the surface of all the results on him. You'll see on the actual race results, it's just a phenomenal breeder. In terms of the body of this pigeon, and again, he is a son of Missil, which is the other Foundation cock here currently at Sierra Ranch. I would say at this point, 1755 has passed Missil up as far as actual race results, but no question, Missil is a great breeder of breeders. There's about 5 different children. They're all Foundation breeders, with this being the best one, but they're all good. 1755 himself is medium small, but longer cast, very long bird. That's the first thing you notice. He's great length to him, and I like that. Some people do, some don't. I prefer longer pigeons, especially for these one-loft races and 400-mile races. But longer cast, strong back. He does have a one-pin tail. He just squirms so much that he's trying to get out of my hand. But strong back, one-pin tail, super tight vents, great wings on him, just fantastic feather quality, really nice spacing on the flights. Good extension. You can see it is definitely a longer wing. It's the first thing you notice when you pick him up is just length on everything. Length and athleticism. Really nice spacing though in those outside flights, but he still has a good snapback. That probably explains why his kids are good for pretty much everything from 100 to 350 or 400. They do good on everything. Feather-wise, he's, I wouldn't say A+, but A-grade feather. Probably one of the top 10 feathers I've handled so far here. There's a couple of have been a little better, but overall he has fantastic feather. Muscle, he has good muscle, but not a lot of muscle. He's a longer, leaner bird, so that's something, again, probably preferable for racing these longer races. But he's not like a big, muscled bird, but he is light as a feather, very buoyant. Probably his 2 best qualities overall out of everything is the character. He just squirms the whole time in your hand. He is constantly moving, just like his father, which Steve noted, but just always moving, super crazy alert. I don't know if he does much on the beak pull or not, but it doesn't matter. But it gives you some beak response usually, but it doesn't matter because he's squirming and fighting in your hand the whole time. And then the other thing is he has top shelf red pearl eyes. He's kind of borderline violet. I'm not 100% sure I'd call that a violet eye, but it's right in the ballpark. But definitely not an eye you see very often, and well above average eyes. Fantastic eyes, actually. So that's him. He has, body-wise, I would say overall he's an A-, but when you factor in like the length, the character and the eye and the feather that pushes him up. He's not going to wow you with his overall body, but he has all these peripheral things that are all way above the norm and outstanding. Again, this is Sierra Ranch 1755 from 2017, aka Torpedo, the current #1 stud pigeon here at Sierra Ranch.